Glorious souls, Kelgunta here with your weekly 13 sign sidereal astrology update. If we haven't met, please do say hello, hashtag replay if you're catching the replay, or if you jump on live, let me know where you're listening from. Also, let me know your sun sign and let me know if it's the sidereal sun sign or if it's tropical. And if it's tropical, I'll let you know your sidereal sun sign in the comments. And you can do that on the replay too. If we haven't met, I'm a 13 sign sidereal astrologer, but more importantly, I'm a spiritual mentor. I can help you shift doubts, shift procrastination, shift frustration back into pleasure, purpose, and freedom, because ultimately that's really what we're here to experience. If you've never heard of 13 sign sidereal astrology before, essentially, in the simplest way I have found to explain it, it is describing the archetypal energies that are connected to the planets as viewed via astronomy. Astronomy is the study of our cosmos and how the planets were formed and all the physical information and energetic information about them. Astrology is the energetic meaning that humans can apply to those placements. So that's what sidereal astrology is. There are 13 signs on the ecliptic. The ecliptic is where the planets revolve around the sun. And another one which got deleted some time ago, or for some reason didn't want to be added, for the astrologers, the astronomers have always used Ophiuchus, is the ecliptic passes through Ophiuchus, and that sits in line with Scorpio before it enters into Sagittarius. It's in line with Scorpio, but the ecliptic absolutely passes through the constellation of Ophiuchus, and that's how you pronounce it. So let's get into the energy for this week. This week's actually kind of interesting. After I looked at the stars, I was like, oh, okay, so there's a bit of energy building this month, and there's a couple of reasons for that. So the reasons the energy are building, so just keep this in your mind, is towards the end of the month, we have a full moon, super moon, full lunar eclipse. So our emotions are going to reach this super max fullness, and it's in Scorpio, right? So heading towards that full lunar eclipse in Scorpio. We're also going to have, by the end of the month, Mercury going retrograde. We currently have Pluto going retrograde. It's the first of the outer planets to fall retrograde. Pluto spends quite a bit of time retrograde because it moves so slowly. But Mercury will go retrograde in Taurus by the end of this month. And the interesting thing that is happening at the moment, and this week in particular, is there is a buildup of energy happening in Taurus. So let's just talk for a minute about what does that mean, Kel? So I refer to astrology holistically. It is to be used to take us back into a deeper connection with everything that is, to take us back into a deeper connection with our ecology right here on the planet, to take us back into a deeper connection with the earth and then everything else, so that we can experience it in all its beautifulness, but also to then serve from that place. And we can use astrology to shift various beliefs, to shift fear, to create, to do, to take action. We can use it and harness its energy to shift our perspective, in other words. So in relation to Taurus, the energy associated with Taurus is that of the architect. We are building something in this lifetime. Energetically, we're building something. Perhaps physically, we're building something. And it's associated and in connection with the earth, because Taurus is an earth sign. And also, it should feel deeply aligned to our values. So Taurus is very much about that building of abundance and wealth and enjoying all of that, but doing it in an aligned manner. So you don't want to be doing it in an excessive manner, or in a manner that would suggest that perhaps you're out of alignment somewhere. You're using the external world to fill you up, right? So that's Taurus in its shadow. Taurus in its light aspect is deeply connected to its values. It absolutely knows what its values are. They're rock solid, and it builds from that place. It creates wealth and abundance. It experiences the material joys and also the relationship joys, those kinds of connections that we build, because Venus rules Taurus, and Venus is in Taurus at the moment as well. So that's kind of the underlying Taurus energy that is happening there. So let's talk about specifically what's happening. Tomorrow, Mercury in Taurus meets up with the North Node. You're probably wondering, what the hell is the North Node, Kel? I've never heard of that. So the North Node is a fictitious point. It is where the moon orbits, and it's where it crosses with the sun's orbit. And we have the North Node and we have the South Node. From an energetic perspective, the North Node is our mission. It's this overarching place that we're moving towards this lifetime. The South Node is what we've done in the past. It might be the things that we're actually really good at, but kind of keep us comfortable. Whereas the North Node is the things we're kind of getting better at, but make us a little bit uncomfortable. So the North Node is you stepping into your outside of your zone, essentially, so that you can step into a different zone of genius, not in your zone of excellence, in your zone of genius. And in Taurus, it very much has to be aligned with your values. You very much have to have it aligned with your inner world, and not let it be fed by the material expectations. And this whole concept of wealth that I'm referring to, I'm not just referring to money. Wealth is a myriad of things. And I want you to think about that this month. What is wealth to me? What is abundance to me? And of course, it can encompass financial wealth, but have a think about, really break it down. What does it mean to me to be wealthy? So you're being asked to step outside your comfort zone. And of course, when it's connected to Mercury, you're going to have various beliefs. The mind is going to throw up all sorts of challenges to why you can't do something differently. Perhaps it might be ending a business relationship. It might be ending a personal relationship. It might be saying, no, that type of skill set, even though I'm quite good at it, doesn't suit me anymore. It might be you ending a career or starting to step out of that career. Now, I want to encourage you to play this month and this week and know that nothing's set in stone, because the planets are going to go retrograde. So you're going to have this period of review. You're going to be able to have this period where you get to look back and go, okay, do I want to make some tweaks and changes? So step in, just have a go. And there's a reason for that this month as well. This is the last month where we get a stellium in one sign. And a stellium is 4 planets in one sign or one house, but because we're talking collective energies here, it's one sign. What does that mean, Kel? So a stellium is formed by at least 4 planets, and one of them has to be at least an outer planet, or the North Node in this case, and a personal planet. So when we have this accumulation of energy, obviously in Taurus at the moment, and by the end of the week, that we'll have 4 planets. We'll have 3 planets there in the North Node there by the end of the week. This suggests to us this is where we should be looking, right? And really starting to clear things out that are no longer in alignment with what we desire and what we value. And that can mean relationships, excuse me, fiddling with my headphones, relationships as well as physical things. And also the way, what was it? the way that we allow the material world to inform us. Okay, so this is part of our inner realm. The North Node in Taurus is part of our inner realm, and we must keep a gentle observation and noticing of our beliefs, because they program our thoughts, thoughts program beliefs, beliefs program thoughts, but then they program our feeling state. And we do have some control over our feeling state if we can shift beliefs and shift thought. So that is what's happening overall this month and this week. But as we drill down on Thursday, we also have Saturn trining Mercury. So while we may be needing to shift some beliefs and to shift some thoughts and to shift perspective in relation to what we value, who we want to be connected with, what is wealth to us, what do we really desire, are we making sure that we're not taking too much from the earth, are we in balance with the earth, what it is that we're creating, is it going to be taking too much from the earth to create that? You are supported, and there's this wonderful flow from Saturn to Mercury in the mind to allow you to get some things done. And again, Capricorn to Taurus. So you're starting to consolidate down. You are directing the mind. You're allowed to sit back and be proud of your accomplishments. You're also allowed to sit back and stop doubting your abilities and stop doubting what it is that you're capable of, and stop doubting your expertness and your leadership. You are a leader in what it is that you're desiring to create this lifetime or bring to the world this lifetime. So you're checking in. It's always great to check in on our values and our beliefs, but you can still be stepping up as the leader. Kind of like what I'm doing. I'm speaking a lot more about the spiritual realm, and I'm not going to say that that doesn't scare me. It does scare me a little bit to be talking more about energetics, archetypes, the spiritual realm, whereas I was trained in science. We're not going to accept that phone call while I'm live. So that is Thursday's energy. And later in the week, as I mentioned, we get more Taurus energy. The sun moves into Taurus on Saturday. So we're still Aries at the moment. You may be seeing a lot of tropical astrology saying, oh, it's Taurus energy right now. Well, it's building. The Taurus energy is building, and it will certainly be at its maximum from Saturday and Sunday when we get the sun moving into Taurus and when we get the stellium building in Taurus. So with the sun in Taurus, with the stellium in Taurus, and the last stellium for the rest of the year, essentially, now is the time to really look at what you value, both in the material realm and from a relationship perspective. What does wealth mean to you? What is it that you feel this little nudge, this little call to do, but you feel like it's just, it's a little bit scary. It's a bit outside of your comfort zone. I want you to write all those things down, because Mercury is here now, and Mercury is the scribe. So write all these things down, and just write down how you feel each day, and write down how you felt abundant, what was wealthy, what beliefs came up. Start taking note of this now towards Mercury retrograde, because there may be things that you want to rework during Mercury retrograde. There may be things that you want to go, oh, okay, no, that didn't work. I need to rework that. So if you're trying some new things, note them down and see if they work. And if they don't, you're going to get an opportunity to redo them. Such is life. You can redo things. So for the rest of this week, step in. I've got one more thing to talk about, which fairly significant, and I didn't talk about it, but I will bring it up. You get to have fun. You get to try new things and step in and try new things and take note, see if it worked. If it didn't work, maybe you don't know straight away, so you might need to do it a few more times. You might need to dive in deeper. You might need to question, what's really underneath that thought or belief. So that's the information in relation to what's happening in Taurus. The other thing happening this week on Wednesday is there is a new moon, and the new moon is in Aries. So the new moon is the innocent, and it's stepping into the sign of the warrior, and what would typically be seen as quite innocent. It's very fresh, it's new, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of pace, there's action, there's concentration, there's focus, your body might want to move. That is the gross or the macro aspect to this new moon. So you might be wanting to start to action things, and you have the energy to do that, feeling into your body and moving in different ways, perhaps setting up a new energetic scaffold or a devotional practice. However, I want you to tune in to a more subtle aspect that is typically associated with the moon, because the moon is the subtle realms. The moon is our intuition, emotions, and feelings. I want us all to stop fighting ourselves. Can we stop fighting ourselves? And bear with me on this thought trail. Because we are one part of a magnificent whole, we are a microcosm as part of the macrocosm. If we can internally, within our inner selves and our inner emotions and feelings, stop fighting ourselves, that has a ripple effect out to all the souls being birthed as we speak and all the souls that ever were. And could you just imagine that intention of this, we stop fighting ourselves, what could happen with the world? And First Nations people would very much probably think about this, and a lot of their spiritual philosophies in linking that reduction to the fighting, what can happen to society when we reduce fighting. We've seen it a couple of times throughout our history, but at the moment I feel like we're fighting ourselves, and therefore in turn that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of fighting in the world. So that's the more subtle aspect of this new moon coming in, the Aries new moon on the 12th. So that's on Wednesday, very early in the morning. You might feel quite energetic and want to set intentions and do things and write to-do lists, move the body in a different way. But perhaps you're also programming yourself a new identity. And that's one where you stop fighting yourself. So that's it from me today. I hope you have a beautiful week. I'm sure to be live somewhere on the interwebs. If you do want to get all the celestial information on a daily basis, it's a little bit more detailed than the snippet that I give you here on these lives every Monday. Come and join my Facebook group, Sidereal Stars with Kel. It's completely free. You'll find the link below this video on YouTube, and if you're watching on Instagram, it's in the link on my bio. So please come and join, and I'll see you next week. Bye.